Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Chioma Naomi and I am so happy that you're here. In today's video, we'll be talking about confronting shame and releasing perfection and how that helps us to build a more healthy self-image. Let's get into it, okay? First starter, shame is not something that you're born with. It gets built into us brick by brick, and there's a lot of ways that this happens. And a lot of the work that I talk about here, I like to go back to childhood, foundational type of things to just give us context for stuff. So let's dive in. So before we get too deep into how it's created, let's define shame. Shame is a painful feeling of humiliation or distress caused by the consciousness of wrong or foolish behavior. So what does it mean to feel ashamed, right? So to feel ashamed, you feel embarrassed or guilty of one's actions, behavior, associations, characteristics, anything of the sort. So to live with shame is to live with the feeling of being ashamed, embarrassment, guilt, right? It's distressing and humiliating to feel so self-conscious of one's existence, right? So inherently, if some of us have a shame wound, we are embarrassed to be alive. We are embarrassed by our own existence. We feel distressed by being perceived, and our existence feels humiliating. So how do we get here? You guessed it. It started with childhood, right? As I told you before, with a parent or someone you deemed as important in your environment. They likely criticized us for being ourselves, right? That criticism is what plays a huge part in developing shame. It doesn't have to be your parents or a family member, even though I said that, right? It doesn't have to be a family member. It could be if you were bullied and you were rejected by your peers, right? You became self-conscious for whatever reason, or if someone made you feel hyper-conscious of who you are to the point that now it feels wrong for you to exist, right? It feels bad. It feels embarrassing for you to exist. So it feels humiliating for you to be seen anything but perfect, right? You don't want to get caught slipping because I'll have to deal with that feeling of shame, right? So without the proper help or understanding from the adults around us, we don't know how to process this feeling. That feeling of embarrassment as a child, that's a big emotion for Elmo, okay?
Balsamic vinegar?
Tomato paste.
That's a big word for Elmo.
That's a big emotion for a little child, to be feeling shame or embarrassment. So if there's no adult in your reality or in your environment to help you process that, to walk you through what you're supposed to do with that, it just stays with us. When a child is crying and they don't understand how they feel, or they rely on the adults around them to help them make sense of things, to sit with them, talk with them like, okay, it sounds like you were upset, right? Helping them to find language and to connect to themselves, right? Helping them to regulate so that that emotion doesn't stay with them, right? So they can process it and move forward, right? Emotions don't last that long if they have a place to go. But if that's meant to sit with us, we don't cry about it, we don't yell about it, we're not able to express it, it's going to stay with you, stay in your body. It needs to be metabolized. But when you don't have the know-how as a means of avoiding emotion, right? When we don't have anywhere to put it, it stays with us. And that feeling, we never learn how to process it. We never learn how to get comfortable with embarrassment. We don't get acquainted with it, right? It's there and we run from it. So now maybe we begin to show up as a shy person, right? A more reserved person, because we see that it is safer for us not to express ourselves because that one time we did, it didn't go well. That one time we did, we got judged for it. That one time we did, we were criticized and we were made to feel bad about our existence. So now we won't express. Now we're shy. We're afraid to be seen trying. We're afraid to show up. We become afraid of getting something wrong, of making mistakes, right? I saw a creator on TikTok mention how that's when we start playing not to lose instead of playing to win. So what does that mean when you're playing not to lose instead of playing to win? It means you're playing with the intent to not feel the shame, right? You're not actually doing your best. You're not actually showing up authentically. You're not actually doing what's good or trying to achieve as high as you can achieve. You're trying to do enough to make sure that you don't have to feel that feeling of shame again. We play not to lose because we can't stand that feeling of embarrassment. So we're not playing to win in our lives. We aren't reaching as far as we could or pushing ourselves toward the things we want to do, because everything we do is tied to not ever feeling that embarrassment or humiliation ever again. And I think you can kind of start to see how this holds us back, right? Shame cages us in. We become sensitive to life. We take things more personally because we feel that we are the reason that things go wrong in extreme cases, right? This isn't always how shame shows up, but we feel like it's our fault why these bad things happen, or why the world is the way that it is, or why X, Y, and Z happen this way. When a lot of times it kind of has nothing to do with you, but we take things more personally. Although we will likely never admit it, we actually need tons of validation in order to ensure that we are doing the right thing now. Shame creates that need because we never got it as a kid, right? We were expressing ourselves and trying to do something that we probably thought was really cool or fun or just a part of who we were. We were criticized. We were made to feel small for it, especially if you're just criticized for just existing. So now as an adult, you're going to need that validation. It's years of carrying that shame wound around with you. So now as an adult, you're like, okay, someone better praise me. You don't feel confident unless you're being constantly reassured that you're doing the right thing, that you're showing up and you're not making a mistake. Or even if you make a mistake, it's okay, right? It's not the end of the world. There's a lot of energy that gets actually placed onto your relationships with other people as a result of shame. You subconsciously can even make them responsible to validate you. While it is nice, right, to be validated by those that we love, for them to show us and care for us in that way and give us those words of affirmation, but it's this subconscious expectation we place on them. You'll need this to feel soothed, to feel at ease, to feel comfortable. There's the shame for even admitting that we need it, right? There's an embarrassment or humiliation of even saying, I want to be validated, right? Because it's like a double-edged sword. You simultaneously don't want to be seen because you don't want to do the wrong thing, but you want someone to see you and say, wow, you're doing the right thing. So you won't ask for the validation, right? Maybe you will. Maybe you're one of the rare cases that will, but a lot of the times you won't ask for that validation that you need. It sometimes creates this feeling of unfairness with our partners because we have this expectation on them. Well, we won't ever voice it. We expect them to read our minds and know. Essentially, your identity formation was stunted by whatever event that caused you to feel this way about yourself, right? And in turn, we become critical of others too. We watch and judge people who do the things we wish we had the courage to do from the sidelines. We have so much to say about how mediocre others are. And then we get mad that their mediocre efforts gets them farther than we get when we aren't doing anything. Which leads me to my next point. Shame keeps you paralyzed. And I kind of touched on this just a little bit ago, right? We become so preoccupied with never feeling embarrassed and never feeling small that we never try. Let this sink in. We judge other people for doing it, but won't do it ourselves. We watch others surpass us thinking, I could do it better, or their work isn't even that good. Yet, you still never put anything out of your own. You still never made your own YouTube channel, but you got so much to say about everybody else's YouTube channel and how their content isn't that amazing on TikTok. Like, you can make better TikToks than that, yet your page is empty. Yeah, you haven't made a single video. You watch people do choreo and perform, and you're like, oh, I could have done it better. But yeah, you haven't took a dance class or gone on an audition. Right. And ironically, that's the key to releasing all this. Doing. You have to move. You have to allow people to see you. You have to start playing to win, right? Pushing yourself past those confines. Shame is an illusion. I don't want to invalidate your feelings. So it's not an illusion, but it's an illusion. Hear me out. It takes courage to surpass the shame, and you have to start expressing yourself, right? The more you cage yourself in, you will just continually be caged in. You have to do something different if you want something different, right? So yes, verbally expressing yourself, but also creatively, as well as doing things that you want to do, showing up in the ways that you want to, instead of playing safe and by the sidelines and playing not to lose, playing not to ever feel embarrassed or shamed or outcasted ever again. Speaking with the sense of authenticity when you do these things, right? Sharing what you really feel. And then when we realize we don't actually die from the discomfort of all this, right? Like, you're not going to die from expressing yourself. It's going to be wildly uncomfortable. You're going to be afraid and you're going to be scared, and all these other feelings are going to probably come up to challenge you, but they will only last for a brief moment, and then you literally won't die. You'll be okay. I swear to you, you won't. You won't die. But once you get past that discomfort of others perceiving you, that's when you start to build the new memories for your ego to nourish, okay? You can't build any new memories for your ego to nourish if you're constantly doing the same thing that reinforces the old memories of you being shamed, of you being humiliated, of you being embarrassed, of you being not good enough. You can't build new memories from there. You have to do a new thing, right? Build a new memory, give your mind, your ego, your brain something to work with so that you can actually have a new memory and be like, oh, I didn't die. I was embarrassed to do that thing, and then I did it. Wow, amazing. Shame tells us that no one cares. No one understands. I have to be perfect. That's what shame is telling you, right? But once you have evidence that shows you otherwise, those new experiences, those new memories, it becomes easier to take the risks, right? The first couple times are going to be the hardest. It's something new. It's something different. You haven't done it before. So it's going to be difficult. But give yourself that opportunity to feel uncomfortable because it will eventually get easier. Granted, this is much easier when you have someone in your corner pushing you towards those things. You have a support system, someone who sees sees you fully, that holds you accountable. So sometimes it's like a teacher, right? Stop playing small. Why are you hiding away? Why are you doing this? Someone calling you out, holding you accountable. Maybe it's your partner. Oh, baby, you're so amazing. You're so loving. You're so awesome. You're so beautiful. Please show yourself to the world. Imagine how much easier that is, a validating partner, because that's what the shameful person needs, is validation. So it's like having that person or someone in your life that sees you. It could be a friend that just like pours into you, is willing to give you that type of loving energy. That makes things so much more helpful for you and beneficial and easier. But you can do this on your own as well if that's not the case. For those of you that only have yourself though, the ones that are doing this work on your own, let me be the one to tell you that you don't have to be perfect to be loved. Okay, let me tell you that you don't have to be perfect to be loved. Give people the chance to love you, to see you, right? Give people the chance to show up for you. They can't show up for you authentically in the ways that you need unless you allow yourself to be the person that you are. You'll never get to that place where you're free and open and able to exist without the confines of considering everybody else or thinking about how they're perceiving you, unless you actually do that. The only way out is through with this one. I wish there were methods I could give you to like get past this, but unfortunately you will just have to like do it. Give people the opportunity to see what you create. Give yourself the opportunity to feel that inkling of freedom from your internal prison, right? Free yourself. Free her. Free you. Free you. I put you on a shirt. Consider it as a donation. Be charitable. When I say be charitable, I mean literally donate your art to the world. Share it with us. Hello? Donate your humor to the world. Donate your love. Donate your knowledge. Donate your identity. Donate your creativity. Please give us something. Your gifts aren't for you. And by all means, don't freaking take your gifts to the grave. Donate that to the world. Give it for free and watch what comes back to you. Free yourself. Literally. The reason you feel so uncomfortable in your own body is because you are trying to keep yourself contained. You feel small. In reality, you're so much bigger than that. You are holding on to gifts and skills that don't even belong to you. They are for others. The art that you create, the words that you write, all the things that you do that you keep to yourself, those aren't even for you. They're for the world. Hello? Is anybody in there? You are too big for that body of yours, okay? Your spirit wants to expand so far past what you're allowing it to. Allow yourself to be for the world, to show up, to be as expansive as you can be, to reach where you could go, to share yourself with the world. The more you hide, the more you hide, the more you hide, the more you would consistently feel the way that you have felt. There's no solution in the darkness. Bring it to the light. Bring yourself, put yourself in the light. Your aura wants to expand wider, to get bigger, to get brighter. Allow that. Let the world have it and move on, right? Give them your gifts and move on from it. Let it go. Obviously, it seems easier said than done, but truly making that first step is how you start to build a more authentic identity and start to reshape the image that you have of yourself. Give yourself something to be proud of, please. Give yourself something to rejoice about. Give yourself something to be inspired about. Surprise yourself. This is how you build that confidence and that more healthy self-image. Do something you didn't know you could, and then just feel the rush that comes with that. So that is all I have for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I will be seeing you in my next video, and please be sure to check out some of my other videos as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Until next time, bye for now.